सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। So we are seeing the summary of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. First chapter we completed where 6 Brahmanas, 6 sections are there. The first section was Ashwamedha Brahmana or Ashwa Brahmana. Second is Agni Brahmana. Third is Udgita Brahmana. Fourth is Purushavida Brahmana, one of the important sections of this chapter. And the fifth one was the what is called? Saptanna Brahmana. Saptanna Brahmana, and the last one is Ukta Brahmana. So in that I wanted to just clarify that in this Saptanna Brahmana there is the delegation of karma. I said samprati, it is a samprati, double tha is there, samprati. And Ukta, I did not give the meaning. Ukta Brahmana, the 6th Brahmana, the last Brahmana, is, Ukta means Karanam. So Nama, Rupa and Karma, they have got the Karanam in the form of Vak, Chakshu and Shariram. So that Karanas are talked about for Nama, Rupa and Karma. Therefore that Brahmana is called Ukta Brahmana. And the 4th Brahmana is the important one, where this Vidya Sutra is there, where it is said Atma is to be understood as not in a fragmented manner, that I am a Shrota, I am Manta, not in fragmented manner, but Atma should be understood as in and through all and free from all. Today Swamiji was telling, that is called beyond. Atma is in and through all, Shrota, Manta, Vignata. Behind all of them, Atma is there. But by itself, Atma is free from all of them. And that was presented by Vidya Sutra. It conveys the idea that I am consciousness, unqualified consciousness. People have so much value to be qualified, but the Swarupa of Atma is unqualified. Atma is unqualified consciousness. Means Atma does not have any particular status as its intrinsic nature. Shrotrutva, being hearer, being seer, all these are not intrinsic to Atma. Is Atma good or bad? No. Goodness also does not belong to Atma. So-called badness also does not belong to Atma. Atma is free from all status. That is why Vedanta is meant for those who are having some vairagya for status. If you have so much value for being status, for having some status, then Vedanta, even if it is understood, it will not be assimilated. I want to be a chief minister, prime minister, or at least a councillor or MP, then this Vedanta will not be assimilated. Why? Because the vision of Vedanta is, I am the Adhishthanam, I am the truth of all status, and by myself I am free from all status. So that is why the status obsession will become an obstacle. Some people, at least I want to become a senior student. Now I am a junior student, senior student, class coordinator, some position. Without position, if you give simple work, then they feel like it is underutilization. So they want some position. So value for position is an obstacle in assimilation of this vision. All right. So with this first chapter of this Upanishad we completed. Now we are entering into the second chapter. Second chapter also has got 6 Brahmanas. The first chapter has 6, second also has got 6 Brahmanas. 62 mantras are there. And first Brahmana is Ajata Shatru Brahmana. It's a very beautiful Brahmana section where there is a story of one king called Ajata Shatru and one scholarly, a person who claims himself to be a scholar but not a scholar. Very, what is called the immature, but considering himself to be highly mature, that type of Brahmana, one person called Balaki. So the story of Balaki and Ajata Shatru is given. Very beautiful, so many things Bhashyakara derives from that. So this Balaki, it is given in the page number 84, Draptaha Balaki ha Anuchanaha Gargyaha. This Balaki, who was the son of Garga, Gargya, he went to one Raja, Ajata Shatru, and told him, Saha uvacha Ajata Shatrum Kashyam Brahmate Bravani. I will speak to you about Brahman. According to Shastra, this is improper. You should never offer this teaching of Brahman unasked. Even however beloved that person is, you cannot say, I love you so much, so I will teach you Brahma Vidya, or I will give you Brahma Vidya, unless other person is ready for that. But this person, Balaki, he must have learned little bit about Brahman, then he wanted to talk about Brahman. And it is a good thing to talk to some high profile person. Therefore he went to the king and say, Brahmate Bravani. So Ajata Shatru, the king, even though he himself was a great scholar, learned person, but he valued this Brahma Vidya. Therefore he said, since you have offered to talk about Brahman, I am giving you 1,000 cows. Because I value. Like somebody brings a news that, okay, this great person is going to come to your place. You give him some sweet or something. Oh, you brought a good news. So, Ajata Shatru offered 1,000 cows only for telling this. Brahmate Bravani. Even though he might have told out of his maturity, but I saw the Raja showed his value for Brahma Vidya. And then he said, please tell. Then this Gargya Balaki, who is a Druptaha, little bit having some arrogance of his knowledge, he talked about Saguna Brahma. This is the first topic of Ajata Shatru Brahmana. So about 20 mantras are there. So he talked about Saguna Brahma. About 12 alambanas he talked about. Sun, moon, space, water, then fire, etc. He talked about 12 places where Brahman can be meditated upon. So every time first he starts with the Aditya. Sahuvat Saeva so Aditya Purushaha Etameva Brahma Upasye. So he talked about Aditya as the alambana for meditating on Brahman. Then Raja said, only this much you know, or anything else? He did not know anything else about that. So Raja said, we need to know a little bit more about this. That this Aditya, Murdha Raja, he is the Murdha, the head of the Virat Purusha. And what is the result of this Upasana? So Raja knew more than this Balaki. Then he thought, okay, now I will tell you something else. So Raja will be impressed by that. So first one he was not, he could not impress Raja. Because Raja, the king, knew more than him. Then he talked about second thing, moon he talked about, then Vidyut, then Akasha, Vayu, Agni, all these, whatever he knew he talked about. Up, water, mirror, all these are alambana for meditating on Brahman. Then every time Raja knew little more about that particular topic. Then 12 alambanas, 12 supports for meditating on Brahman, he talked about. Then Raja said, do you have anything else to say? He said, no, this much only I knew. Like you had prepared this infant reader and you and you wanted to conduct the classes. That fellow had already studied reader 1. So he said, okay, in this much I knew, what more? He said, nothing is there. Tushnim asa gargyaha. So Gargya, when he was asked, do you know anything more than that? He kept quiet. Then Raja said, by this much knowing this much, you cannot have complete understanding of Brahman. What he wanted to say, this is only sopadika rupam, upadi based version of Brahman, upadi based status of Brahman. Brahman is beyond that. So, Raja said that by this much it will not be enough to know Brahman. Then this Balaki, he understood that he needs to learn. So the roles are reversed. He said, Gargya upatva yani. He said, now I am surrendering to you. So Balaki is telling, I am now surrendering to you. You please teach me. Like a Shishya, Yatha Shishya, Anya Shishya, just as any other disciple will surrender to the Guru, I am surrendering to you, please teach me. So the roles are reversed. Raja said, you need not be my formal student, I will teach you. And then he holds his hand. And Raja has got a very peculiar method of teaching. It is not like for us like Atma, Kaha, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. That is our way of studying. But in Vedic, in the Upanishad, there are very peculiar style. I will tell you what is the style he adopted. The Raja took the Gargya holding his hand, in fact that also he says, holding his hand, Pano Adaya, means making him comfortable, because earlier he was a Guru. He came with a Guru status and now he is a Shishya, so he must be feeling embarrassed. So Raja wants to make him comfortable. So holding his hand, Raja takes to a person who was asleep. Just, he was sleeping. Raja called out his name. Hey Bruhan Pandarvasaha Soma. Still he did not get up. But when he pressed his hand, the person who was sleeping, then he got up. You press his hand, then you get up, person will get up. And Bodhayan Chakara Saha Uttasthau. It must have been startled also seeing Raja in front of him getting up. Then Raja Sahovacha Ajata Shatruhu. His Raja said, do you know where this person was when he was sleeping? Gargya said, I don't know. Gargya did not know. Namene Gargya. Then Raja explains. By this particular method, Raja is explaining the Jiva Swarupa. What is the Jiva Swarupa? That Jiva is appearing to be Shrota, Manta, etc. means the hearer, thinker, etc. based on the Upadi Sambandha, based on the association with the ears, etc. But by itself, it is free from being hearer, seer, etc. So, kartrutva, bhoktrutva, doership and experiencership are incidental, and what continues in all three states, that is the true nature of jiva. And so here avasthatraya vivek also is done. And by that what is suggested? In Jagrad avastha, I am aware. Swapna avastha also, I am aware. In Shushupti avastha, my being aware is not sphuta, is not very distinct, but my being aware remains, because when I get up, I am able to recollect the sleep. So, my being aware is common in all three states. That for being aware, which is called awareness, which is called consciousness, is the nature of jiva. So, by this upadesha, by this style of upadesha, Raja communicated the swarupa of jiva. What is the nature of jiva? Jiva is Chaitanya Swarupaha Akarta Abhokta. So, this is called Anvaya Vyatirika method. What comes with you in all states, that is your nature. What is dropped is incidental. Like in relationship, who remains with you in poverty and richness, is a good relative, more reliable relative. One who remains with you only when you have money, then he is not really your friend. Who is your real friend? Who remains with you in all situations. See, that is in relative sense. Here, what remains with jiva in all states, that is Chaitanyam. And that Chaitanyam is the Swarupa of jiva. Being karta, being bhokta, being seer, etc. is aupadikam. It is incidental. So, that is the second topic. So, first topic of this Brahmana is that Saguna Brahma Nirupanam. Second is Sushupta Purusha Dvara Jiva Swarupa Nirupanam, the presentation of nature of jiva. Then the third topic is Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Raja says that this Atma in which the jiva is resting, that Atma is Jagad Adhishthanam. He says, Sa yatha urnanabhihi tantuna uchchared yatha agnehe kshudraha vispulingaha vicharanti evameva asmadatmanaha sarve pranaha sarve lokaha bhutani vicharanti. So, this Atma, Chaitanyam, is Adhishthanam of the Karanam, Vivarta Karanam of the entire universe. So, the third topic here highlighted is that Chaitanyam, which is the nature of jiva, is the Jagat Karanam Brahma. So, we always say that in Upanishad, not there is only one Mahavakya or four Mahavakyas. There are so many Mahavakyas. Only thing, these Mahavakyas sometimes presented in indirect manner. So, this Chaitanya Swarupa Atma alone is Jagat Karanam Brahma. So, we have seen earlier, if somebody tells you you are Chaitanya Swarupa, perhaps you can accept. But you are Jagat Karanam? No, Swamiji. I cannot be, even as roti I cannot make. So, roti Karanam also I am not. Idli Karanam also I am not. I am Jagat Karanam. Why there is a sense of impossibility? Because you continue to confine yourself to this body, mind, sense complex. You think that you are consciousness, all right, but which consciousness? Consciousness which is obtaining in this body, that much only. I am consciousness, but consciousness which is confined to this body. That is not the truth about myself. I am consciousness which is obtaining everywhere. There is no difference whatsoever. So, when you are able to see that I am consciousness not confined to this body, obtaining in all the bodies, then you are Jagat Karanam, you will not have resistance. So, the third topic highlighted was I, consciousness, am Jagat Karanam. The fourth topic is a very interesting topic, and that is called Upanishad. So here Upanishad, this is the fourth topic is Upanishad. Brahmanaha Upanishad or Atmanaha Upanishad. And here Upanishad has got the meaning secret name. The meaning of the word Upanishad is secret name. And what is the secret name of Brahman, Atma? Satyasya Satyam. That is your secret name. Satyasya Satyam means you are the truth of all empirical truth. Atma is Satyam, the truth, the ultimate truth behind all empirical truth. So that is your name. What is your real name? Satyasya Satyam. I am Satyasya Satyam. I am the truth of all truth. So as Swamiji was telling, sixth case and first case, I also will use that. Satya. I don't know how successful Swamiji was, but I also will try. In Satyasya Satyam, there are two. Satyasya, sixth case, genetic possessive noun. Satyasya, sixth case Satya. And other is Satyam, is nominative Satya, Prathama Vibhakti Satya. So Satyasya, the sixth case Satya, is the entire Vyavaharika Prapancha. The entire empirical, experienceable world is called Satya. Sixth case Satya. Satyasya, in that Satya is there, that refers to Vyavaharika Prapancha. And Satyam, Prathama Vibhakti Satyam, is Paramarthika Satya. The Tippadikara nicely says, Abadhya Adhishthanam. I am unnegatable truth of everything. That is the Prathama Vibhakti Satyam. So I am the truth of Atma, Brahman, is the truth of all. Truth of all means truth of all empirical truth. So I am, or Brahman is the empirical truth, absolute truth behind all empirical truth. Vyavaharika Satyasya aham Paramarthika Satyam. In fact, Vyavaharika Padartha is Nama Rupatmaka. Ghata, Pata, all these are Vyavaharika Satya, clip. So whenever we use big words, we have to bring it down to our ground reality. Vyavaharika Satya means what? This is not something sitting somewhere. This is Vyavaharika Satya. Your body is what? Vyavaharika Satya. Your hunger is what? Your thoughts is what? Vyavaharika Satya. All these are Vyavaharika Satya. Somebody shouting at you is what? Vyavaharika. Shouting fellow is what? Shouted one is what? Vyavaharika. This is how we have to bring into ground level. Then only Vedanta will be assimilated. Vyavaharika Satya means this. Pleasure is Vyavaharika Satya. Pain is what? You don't know, Swamiji, pain is Paramarthika Satya. Because why, you know why? Paramarthika person thinks, because doesn't go, Swamiji. Pleasure very rarely comes when I eat laddu. So, but pain doesn't seem to go, Swamiji. So it looks like Paramarthika. No? In Sushupti, pain is not there. No. That's why they give sedation. No. So, all these objects, feelings, all of them are what? Vyavaharika Satyam. Shashti Vibhakti Satyam. See, this is a nice thing. So anything what? It is a Shashti Vibhakti. So anything which is shouting, paining, anything what? Is a sixth case Satyam. Why we are calling it Satyam? Because it is available as is. You say clip is. You don't say clip is not. You say clip is. Since it is available as is, existent, therefore we are calling it Vyavaharika Satyam. Why are we calling Vyavaharika Satyam? Because Vyavahara Kale Eva Satyam. It is true only when there is a transaction. When we analyze with the help of Vedanta, then this clip disappears. What is understood? It is only existence. Existence alone is. There is no clip as a substance. Since it does not have intrinsic existence, therefore it is dependently existent, and therefore it is mithya, which is otherwise called Vyavaharika Satyam. So Vyavaharika Satyam is a nice name for mithya. Like undeveloped country nowadays we don't say. What we say? Developing country. Name. But he is undeveloped only, it is not fully developed. Anyway, so Vyavaharika Satyasya Jagataha Aham Satchidatma Paramarthika Satyam. Means this is Sanskrit. What is in English? We say I am, I existence, consciousness am absolute reality behind this empirical reality in the form of this world. This is the meaning of Satyasya Satyam. This is my name. Somebody calls you, this Swamiji is call me names. So somebody calls you me idiot, etc. So this is not your name. Idiot is not your name. What is your name? Satyasya Satyam. All right. So that was presented in the first Brahmana. So the first chapter, first Brahmana is Ajata Shatru Brahmana. 4 topics. One is the Saguna Brahma Nirupanam. Second is Jiva Swarupa Nirupanam, the presentation of Jiva's nature. Third is the Jiva Swarupa as Jagat Karanam Brahma. And fourth is Upanishad of Brahman, the secret name of Brahman. What is that? Satyasya Satyam. It's a very nice thing, no? Aham Satyasya Satyam. Then second Brahmana is called Shishu Brahmana. Shishu means baby. So child Brahmana. So second is Shishu Brahmana. And it is Shishu Brahmana and the second Brahmana and third Brahmana called Murta Brahmana. These 2 Brahmanas are elaboration of the 6th case Satyam. Satyasya Satyam is there. Vyavaharika Satyam. Satyasya means of the truth, but what type of truth? Empirical truth. Vyavaharika Satyam, empirical reality. This empirical reality presented by the 6th case Satyam, Satyasya, that is elaborated in the second and third Brahmana. So we can say second Brahmana and third Brahmana are elaboration of one word. What? Satyasya. What is that empirical universe? Vyavaharika Satya. What is that? Vyavaharika Satya is represented by prana, because prana is very important. And in the second Brahmana called Shishu Brahmana, this Vyavaharika Satya is presented in the form of Vyashti Vyavaharika Satya. So there are 2 types of Vyavaharika Satya. Vyavaharika Satya means empirically real, relatively real. They are called Vyavaharika Satya. The Vyavaharika Satya, 6th case Satya, is of 2 types. One is Vyashti Vyavaharika Satya, other is Samashti Vyavaharika Satya. And in the second Brahmana, Vyashti Vyavaharika Satya means individually, the individual empirically real, micro empirical real. That is presented in the second Brahmana. Means Vyashti Vyavaharika Satyam in simple words, body, mind, sense, complex. Simple. So big words will first use and then come down to simple. So so Vyashti Vyavaharika Satyam is in the form of this individual body, mind, sense complex. And that is elaborated. And some upasanas are suggested. And in this Brahmana, this body, mind, sense complex is presented as Vyashti Vyavaharika Satyam. And this body, mind, sense complex is represented by prana. Prana is very important in Upanishads. That this you will be observing. Everywhere prana, prana, prana comes. So our Shastra's approach is learn to respect life, learn to worship life, learn to adore life. And so here the prana is highlighted. And the prana is compared to a shishu. Shishu means baby, but here baby calf. So prana is compared to a baby calf. So baby calf is called here shishu. And there are certain upasanas given. That you have to imagine baby calf is tied. Baby calf is staying in a place. It has got general place, it has got special place. Adhana and pratyadhana. And it is tied. It is tied with a rope. And there will be some peg will be there for tying. All these ideas are given just to convey that prana is a representative of the entire universe. And why prana is compared to shishu? The Bhashyakara says that just as baby does not have attachment to the objects, Vishayasakti is not there, innocent. Similarly, prana is innocent. Eyes can have attachment, ears can have attachment, but the prana does not have any attachment to any objects. And therefore, prana is compared to Shishu. And therefore, this Brahmana got the name, this Shishu Brahmana. Alright. So, Shishu Brahmana, one sentence we can say, Shishu Brahmana presents Vyashti Vyavharika Satyam. Is presents individual empirical reality in the form of body, mind, sense complex represented by prana. This is what this Shishu Brahmana. Only the 4 mantras are there. And some upasanas are there. The 7 things are to be attributed as 7 rishis. On our eyes and ears and all we can invoke rishis, different rishis. That description is there, but nobody is going to do upasana. So we do namaskara and go. So the third Brahmana is Murta Brahmana. Let us be always clear about the title. So at least Murta Brahmana, Shishu Brahmana you understood? The Brahmana, the section dealing with prana who is compared to Shishu, baby. Now third Brahmana is Murta Brahmana. This third Brahmana also is elaboration of what? Vyavharika Satyam, 6 case Satyam. Now I will call it 6 case Satyam. Satyasya, the 6 case Satyam, Vyavharika Satyam is elaborated here. And predominantly it is elaborating the Samashti Vyavharika Satyam. Means this cosmic empirical reality. And this cosmic empirical reality, otherwise called Samashti, the Prapancha, this Prapancha has got 2 aspects. So, Samashti Prapancha, the total universe, is presented in Murta Brahmana. And this Samashti Prapancha, the entire universe, has got 2 aspects. One is called Murta. Murta means concrete, solid, gross. Amurta means subtle, invisible. So, Murta means visible, Amurta means invisible. And if we go by the model of Panchamahabhutas, Akasha and Vayu are called Amurta, and Agni, fire, water and Prithvi, these 3 are called Murta. Murta means visible. So, the entire universe can be looked upon as Murta Prapancha, the universe consisting of visibles and invisibles. So, Murta Brahmana means the section dealing with the universe having 2 aspects, visible and invisible. Alright, and in this, the 3 Mahabhutas were presented as Amurta, and 2 are presented as Amurta. 3 were presented as Murta. 3 means the Prithvi, Apaha and Agni, they were presented as Murta, Vayu, Akasha as Amurta. Even at individual level you want to see, the Sthula Sharira can be taken as Murta and Sukshma Sharira can be taken as Amurta. So individual level also we can see, but predominantly it is presented here in the context of Samashti. So the Vyavaharika Satyam, Satyasya, that Satyasya presents Vyavaharika Satyam, that was presented in these two Brahmanas. But at individual level, other as total level. So the Vyavaharika Satyam means what? This individual body, mind, sense complex, an entire gross universe and subtle universe. Subtle universe is consisting of all Sukshma Mahabhutas and Hiranyagarbha, etc. And the Sthula means this, all these gross objects, the mountains, rivers, etc., all the 14 lokas. That is called gross universe. So gross universe, subtle universe, that is called Murta, Murta Prapancha, and gross body, subtle body is called Vyashti, Murta, Murta. And now in this third Brahmana, at the end, after presenting this empirically real, this Prapancha, Vyavaharika Satya Prapancha, now at the end, what is the Satyasya Satyam? That is also presented in the third Brahmana. At the end, only 2-3 sentences. And there, how is it presented? What is the Satyasya Satyam? Vyavaharika Satyam you explained. Gross body, gross universe, subtle universe. We understood Vyavaharika Satyam, so much you gave. What about Paramarthika Satyam? For Paramarthika Satyam, Upanishad says, I can teach you about Paramarthika Satyam by this method. What? Neti Neti. So Neti Neti comes here. The third Brahmana, here lastly comes the sixth mantra. Neti Neti iti adeshaha. I was very happy when I was hearing. Swamiji also talked about Neti Neti. Neti Neti means what? Not this, not this. And here Neti Neti has got contextual meaning what? Paramarthika Satyam Brahma is not Murta, na iti. Is not gross universe. Gross universe is not Paramarthika Satyam. Subtle universe, na iti. Second na iti means subtle universe also is not Paramarthika Satyam. So Neti Neti means what? This gross universe is not Paramarthika Satyam. Second Neti means subtle universe is not Paramarthika Satyam. The gross elements are not Paramarthika Satyam. Subtle universe is not Paramarthika Satyam. And at the individual level, your gross body is not Paramarthika Satyam. Your subtle universe, also, subtle body also is not Paramarthika Satyam. And in subtle body, causal body is included. Otherwise, people will say, what about causal body? Is included. Now, as Swamiji said very nicely, that Neti Neti twice it is told, it is to be extended to everything which is superimposed. Somebody says you are fat. What you should say? Neti. Means I am not. But somebody said you are beautiful. That also someone should say? No, that asmi. That time also Neti should come. Our problem is that Hindi में बोलते अच्छा बोले कि मीठा मीठा गप गप कड़वा कड़वा थू थू. So means that whenever sweet thing comes you take it, and when bitter thing comes you say the neti. That will not work. For both you should say neti. Somebody said you are brilliant, neti. You are idiot, neti. If you have said neti for brilliant, then only you can say neti for idiot. If you want to partially adopt, it will not work. Our problem is that we want to use Vedanta as and when required. That's why it doesn't work. Like that's what, in business also. If very tough job is there, very less profit is there, you ask your friend, can you do this work? And when good and very profitable job, you give it to somebody else. So next time we will not do it. So Vedanta is to be adopted in totality. Atma iti eva upasita. Therefore, every time. So neti, neti should be applied. If at all to be, if you want to apply it holistically. Not like, conveniently, partially. Alright. So here, Atma, the Brahman was presented as neti, neti. Means what? Not this, not this. Here little bit we have to see. When it is said Brahman is revealed by the sentence na iti, means what? It is not visible, it is not invisible. It is not gross, it is not subtle. Now, when we dismiss entire relative world, Vyavaharika Satya, then what will remain? Paramarthika Satya. So, when Vyavaharika is dismissed, what is supposed to remain is Paramarthika Satya, the absolute reality. But some people will say, no Swamiji, when we dismiss Vyavaharika, then nothing remains. That's what in meditation it happens. There is experience of blankness. Swamiji, I said, I am not the body, I am not the senses, I am not that. Then what remains? Blankness. So people think that blankness is the reality. That is what Shunyavadi. They did not have this sense of validity in our Vedas, therefore they ended up in Shunyavada. What is nothingness? Nothingness is not the reality. But Swamiji, when we dismiss gross things, subtle things, gross body, subtle body, and now we are telling causal body also included, then nothing remains. There is nothing remains which can be said to be existent. Then Shastra says, don't say nothing remains. When you negate gross and subtle, the negator remains, or the Sakshi of all negation remains. So who remains? I, Sakshi, remain as the negator or the truth of negator. So when there is a negation of Murta and Amurta, what remains? I, Sakshi Chaitanyam remains. And I, Sakshi Chaitanyam, whose true nature is Chinmatraha, that real I, consciousness, I, real I, consciousness, am Satyasya Satyam. So the culmination of the teaching on Brahman as Satyasya Satyam is in this particular wisdom, vision. What is the vision? I am Satyasya Satyam. That Brahman which is Satyasya Satyam, that Brahman I am. Why? Because Brahman is revealed by Neti Neti. And when everything is negated, what remains is I, the Sakshi of all negation. And I, Sakshi, who am Chinmatraha, pure consciousness, am Satyasya Satyam. So, I am Satyasya Satyam, that was revealed by Neti Neti. So, remember, Neti Neti is not just meant for negation. Neti Neti is meant for revealing that Brahman, which is the limit of all negation, is you. So, Neti Neti teaching has got culmination in you. If it does not culminate in you, then Neti Neti teaching is not complete. The completion of Neti Neti is in I am Satyasya Satyam. It's a very beautiful vision. Alright. So with this, the Tritiyam Brahmanam was completed. Now, the fourth Brahmana, where there is a dialogue between Maitreyi and Yajnavalkya. This is one of the most important Brahmana of this chapter, called Maitreyi Brahmana. This Maitreyi Brahmana has got 14 mantras. Fourth Brahmana, these 14 mantras, and it is called Maitreyi Brahmana because the student here is Maitreyi. Acha, that is a story, beautiful story, very, very inspiring story. So the first topic of this Brahmana is Vairagya Pratipadanam or adhikari pratipadanam, the presentation of a qualified person. Very beautifully given. So there was a great learned person called Yajnavalkya. And Yajnavalkya was a householder. And he had 2 wives. In those days there was no problem. So 2 wives were there. Nowadays illegal. So 2 wives. Katyayani and Maitreyi. Some people, those who have studied Brihadaranyaka, they say Gargi was his wife. Gargi was not wife. Gargi was a challenger for Yajnavalkya, not wife. So 2 wives, Katyayani and Maitreyi. And Yajnavalkya decided to take sannyasa. That is what is Udyasyanva are aham asmat sthanat. So Yajnavalkya wants to take sannyasa, which is called Vidvat sannyasa. There are 2 types of sannyasa. One is called Vividisha sannyasa, other is called Vidvat sannyasa. Vividisha sannyasa means the sannyasa taken for exclusive pursuit of Shravana Manana. And Vidvat sannyasa is after getting the vision, after getting even nishtha, just to maintain the decorum in the society, not creating confusion in the society, this wise person takes this sannyasa, that is called Vidvat sannyasa. So Vidvat means a wise person, learned person. So Vidvat sannyasa means a renunciation by a wise person, not for studying the Shastra, but to remain in this vision and not creating confusion. What do we mean by not creating confusion? If a wise person remains in the Grihastha and he has to do the duties, in our tradition that was not considered to be appropriate that a person is in Grihastha and not doing the duty. Nowadays the trend is there. The Grihastha and they don't know, I don't believe. Household things I don't do. That is not considered proper. So, if you are a householder, you have to do the duties of householder. And so if person wants to be free from that, because I don't need to do any duties, I have already outgrown that, then it is better a person takes sannyasa. He is ready and it will reduce the conflict in the minds of others. Otherwise, if person is in Grihastha, he doesn't require to do any karma, and therefore if he doesn't do karma, people will be confused. And human tendency you must have seen. We always take the example which is convenient to us, especially to justify our weakness. If I don't want to do some particular duty, what will I say? That person also not doing. Why don't you show that example, that person who is doing, we don't take the example. 10 people are doing, you don't take example, but one person is not doing, he is not doing, so why should I do? So we have this human tendency, and therefore wise people, they take sannyasa, even though they don't require even sannyasa, but not to create confusion, they take sannyasa. That is called Vidvat sannyasa. So Yajnavalkya wanted to take Vidvat sannyasa. And once you take Vidvat sannyasa or any sannyasa, then you should let go of all your property, house, etc. You cannot retain your house on your name and all this. Generally, it is not considered proper. Nowadays, it is okay because it is a requirement. But generally, that everything is to be given to the family or totality. So, Yajnavalkya, yeah, please do it afterwards. Huh? Yeah. So, Yajnavalkya told his wife, Maitreyi, see, I am going now to take sannyasa, so you and your co-wife, I will distribute the wealth between you two. Then Maitreyi asked, it's all right, you wealth you will give. She was not interested so much in that. So he says, if you give me wealth, will I get that amrutatvam, immortality, which is the goal of life? He says, Sarva Prithvi Vittena Purnasyat Katham Tena Amrutasyam. Will I become immortal by that wealth? And Yajnavalkya was honest. He said, no, The wealth you will have will make you very comfortable. Like any rich man is having comfortable life, so you will have more comfortable life. Perhaps when I was there, you were not spending. Now you can spend independently. You don't have to ask me. So you will be having very comfortable AC, videos, whatever you want. I'm just telling AC, video are not there. So he said you will have a comfortable life. But I must tell you, the amrutatvasya tu na ashasti vittena. By wealth, you cannot get immortality. I must tell you honestly. See, other husband would say, you will get everything, you let me go. So, other husband would say, just, I want to go, you just, everything will be all right. No, he did not say that. He said, no, wealth will not give immortality. He is an honest husband. Then this Maitreyi says a very beautiful sentence. Every sadhaka can remember this. She says, Yena aham na amrutasyam kimaham tena kuryam. Yena aham na amrutasyam kimaham tena kuryam. What shall I do with that which does not give me immortality? So every sadhaka, this should be the approach. Why should I get stuck with something which does not lead me to this owning up this immortality? Every time sadhaka, any major decision, this is the criterion. What? Will it lead me to immortality? Or it will keep me in mortality? So Maitreyi says, Yena ham na amrutasyam kibaham tena kuryam. And therefore what? Yadeva Bhagavan Veda tadeva me bruhi. So you please tell me the means for immortality. That I am interested. This wealth, etc., you give the whole thing to her. My co-wife you give Katyayani. She will be happy. Katyayani was little bit more worldly type. So she will be happy with that. Maitreyi says, I am not interested. And Yajnavalkya, when he heard this from Maitreyi, Yajnavalkya was very happy. He said, you have been dear to me because of your commitment and you are really speaking very pleasant words. He says, come, ehi asva. This is a very loving husband, like, he said, ehi asva, come, I will teach you. Vyakhyāsyāmi. I will teach you this Brahma Vidya. And after when I teach, te vyachakshanasya tume nididhyasasva. Afterwards you reflect upon that, contemplate upon that. So very beautiful. That is a beautiful relationship. Husband and wife, after a certain stage, that should be the relationship, where they inspire each other for learning. Not that, oh, why are you going so much to Vedanta and all this. So it's understandable. That also is understandable. But time should come when both of them, they inspire. And so here husband is inspiring wife, yes, I will teach you. And now he starts teaching about this Atma. And he starts teaching on Atma with very beautiful way. First he presents Atma as Priyatamaha. Priyatama means the most beloved. Atma is the most beloved. And he reveals an important fact. What? Nava are patyuhu kamaya patih priyo bhavati, atmanastu kamaya patih priyo bhavati. He said, husband is dear to the wife, not for husband's sake. It is not husband is intrinsically dear. Husband is dear for one's sake. I love my spouse, not really for spouse's sake. I love spouse for my sake. Atmanastu kamaya. For the sake of self alone, everything becomes dear. He gave so many examples. First he tells about Pati. After he said Patni also, Jaya. It's not that he is one side only. Wife is dear to the husband not for the wife's sake. Wife is dear to the husband for himself, husband's sake only. I love my wife not for the sake of wife. I love wife for my sake. Very bitter truth. People say, no, Swamiji. Many people have there is some resistance to this statement. I have heard several times. Swamiji talks about selfishness. So, should we be selfish? No. So that's what immediate question will come. And in fact, he gives such a big list. He said, even Bhagavan, Devatas, you said, I am very great devotee of Shiva. Shiva, Shiva. Shiva is my everything, Shiva. But I tell you, Shiva is dear to you. Shiva Devata, not local Shiva. So, because we have Shiva here. So Shiva, Bhagavan, Devata is dear to you, not for Shiva's sake. He is dear to you because you love yourself. For your sake you love Shiva. You might have heard these stories. That person was a great devotee. One lady was telling one Swamiji that she was a great devotee of Subramanya Swami. And she was doing so much puja and everything. And then she used to pray, oh Subramanya, oh Muruga, that please get my daughter married. Please arrange marriage. Nowadays is a very big issue for parents. Sometimes children don't care, but parents are so much worried. So she was praying, my daughter should get married, and she must have given some time limit. Within 6 months it should be something. So she must have prayed for a few months or maybe years or something. It did not happen. Marriage did not happen. Whatever be the reason. Then that lady got so angry on Murugan that all the pictures of Murugan, she put it in the dustbin. She said, I am so angry with Murugan. There was a song also in Hindi, Duniya mein tera hai bada naam, aaj mujhe tujhse pad gaya kaam. Meri binti sune to manu, naam nahi to karu dunga, jag mein tujhe badnaam. Means what? It is Hindi, I will tell you in English. What it means? Oh Lord, I have some work for you. Like you know how you tell your servant, so I have some work for you. Please do it. If you don't do it, I will make you very infamous. People will know, I will tell everybody, God is useless, no point in serving God, worshipping God. I will make you badnaam, infamous. People will hate you. I will create hatred towards you in minds of people. This is how it is. Why? I love God for what? Myself. मेरा काम करे तो ठीक है. So, if Bhagavan helps me but does my job, you are good, you are great, etc. See, that's what one lady was telling Swamiji, we were in difficulty, help came, so God is so gracious. Swamiji said, if God did not help you, still is gracious or not? That doubt. The real devotee will not have this. Anyway, but here the topic is, you love all for the sake of yourself. Now the question will definitely come, does it mean, Swamiji, everybody is selfish? So Shastra also is talking about selfishness. The answer we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada